Welcome to QualiMed version 3 that helps you generate comprehensive test cases for just from such software requirements using the power of AI. In this particular case, we are considering a simpler scenario which doesn't have any compliances to do with and doesn't have any requirements. However, we do have a prompt that we would obviously give um, the system to design the test cases for. So this is authentication and access control. You can probably go through the requirement. Basically, it's regarding access and 2FA, and obviously some session scenarios as well. And we'll go ahead and see advanced settings. You can also actually configure your system instructions. Right now, I'm just assuming the AI to actually act as a very expert QA engineer, and then obviously a few things here. By default, these are just these scenarios, but I would probably add a security and let's say usability as the categories as well, and let's generate the test cases. So this will probably take some time because it has a bunch of categories. So I'll probably cut the video here, and once we process the entire batch, it should be a few dozen test cases or something like that. But that is the this is the scenario, and we'll get back to when the test case is ready. By then, I'll probably show you a few more settings. For example, you can obviously turn on the light mode, dark mode, and you have you can do it from here as well. Default export format. You can actually set up your API key, and also you can configure a few parameters here. And this is your Jira configurations. We have other configurations as well. For example, Azure DevOps and Polarian. But right now we are currently looking into this particular user just has a Jira configuration to it. So you have to give it the Jira instance URL, the username, and the API token, which will be actually generated, and the board key. Essentially, that's the requirement that the board needs to have. And let's see if, okay, it is still processing, so probably it needs a little bit more time. So we'll get back to, I'll cut the video here, and we'll return when the batch is completely processed. So yeah, a break comes here. So now we're back. Just a couple of seconds ago, the test suite was completed. There are like 53 test cases generated for these things. Obviously, you can configure your AML of choice. Right now, it's defaulting Jira because I have a Jira board. And you can also see the test cases outputted here as Markdown, PDF files. Let's see if I can expand that. Let me open with, let's say, TextEdit just to be safer. And you can also have a JSON file. Obviously, I'll not expand that. And you can also create test cases directly from here. For example, this particular thing fails for you. So you can have the ticket made for this use case, and it actually makes that thing on the board itself, and you can go and see this is your complete requirement that comes out, and the preconditions, steps, data, and whatever you expected, and that's your ticket made. So that's the simpler use case, and now we'll go back and see how to make a compliance related document as well. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, now we're covering a kind of requirement document which is actually regarding to compliance of a particular ISO, and we have pasted this particular section clause to the text of the documents, and then we can add the requirement, and then we can map the requirement back to the board. And let me, for now, just copy paste that same prompt that we gave earlier about access control, and now, and let's generate the test cases for that. And now it covers requirements and traceability of this particular prompt, and that links the prompt to the test cases to this particular requirement, which is eventually also linked to a compliance formality as well. So traceability and requirement and compliances will be covered in this particular use case. And I'll probably have to cut the video here, and we'll get back to when the entire test case has been processed, and we can create test bugs from this particular system as well. Yeah. So here's a pause in the video. We are now back. Now we have lesser number of test cases because we are just the 3 cases. And let's see this particular thing fails, for example, and I'll go ahead and create a Jira ticket, and let's see. So 53 ticket is here, and you can see your traceability of any requirement coming right here, and explaining what the requirement actually meant, and the usual preconditions, steps, test data, and actual results come here, and that's your ticket. Cool. So this covers your requirements and traceability, and now we'll cover just a simple drag and drop of multiple files. For this, we don't have any requirements, and we will let's see. I will drop a folder. So this particular folder has 2 documents in doc format and PDF. I'm doing 2 for now because I don't want to burden my API credits a lot, and I'll run the batch. So this batch will probably take a bit of time because it has 2 documents, and I'll cut the video here again, and we'll come after all this processing is done, and we'll create one more final ticket, and that would be probably the end of the demo. Thank you, and we'll catch up after the break. Okay, so a quick intro. So this particular thing will also show you some progress of probably the first compliance has been done, and we are actually back to the second one. So that is processing, and we'll come back after all of these have been processed completely, or maybe it fails for once, but that's the progress for you. Yeah. One more break coming up for you right now. Okay, so the batch just completed. We have 22 test cases. First, this HIPAA compliance and OSHA bloodborne pathogen. I'm not sure what this is, but this thing apparently has just login credentials. So we'll take staff view probably. Okay, unauthorized staff attempts to view patient records. Probably this failed for you, and you can make a ticket for this. And again, requirements, conditions, data, things like that. So that is a couple of things that I wanted to demo QualiMed for you. This is still version 3. A couple of improvements can be done from here as well, but we'll catch up after this is improved further. But yeah, that's QualiMed for you. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the session. Yeah, thank you.